Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I was intending to build this on camera and then realized I just didn't hit the record button. So we're working on Maya's parachute replacement. I probably butchered your name. I'm sorry if I did. But we're going to hop over to the actual contract here and take a look at what we're doing here. So we need to, from a height of 100 kilometers, use only fuel to land safely. This can be both a manned or an unmanned mission. We're doing it unmanned because that is lighter, and so that'll be fine. Now, we have overkilled this a wee bit, as you can see. And you'll also notice, look at where our center of lift is. That's going to make things very interesting. Very interesting indeed on the ascent. But the ascent is not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about descending. I haven't tested this, but this is going to be interesting. We're going to save it. We're going to put it out on the pad, and we'll see how this goes. It's going to be very interesting. I did make sure that the center of mass is approximately where we want it for the upper stage. It's just this first stage where it's going to be a little spicy. But all we want to do is go straight up. I want a little bit of sideways velocity because I would rather splash down in the water. But we'll throttle up, SAS on, not necessarily in that order, apparently. We can combine these stages together, and off we go. So we're going to go up here almost entirely straight. I do want a tiny... Oh, that's sensitive. Okay. I want a tiny amount of horizontal velocity here because we want to head out until this is in water. Still in shores. So I guess this attitude will be fine. We'll just hang out here until we have an apoapsis of 100 kilometers. This is nearly straight up. Now we're in water. Okay, yeah, this should be fine. So that looks good. We have a very, very small amount of horizontal speed here. We can, at this point, try to pull... Oh, this is so sensitive. I knew it would be. But we can try to pull it back like this and not have quite so much horizontal speed. And we're still impacting the water here. We can cut our throttle. We're at the correct apoapsis, so that's looking good. To be honest, we don't need any of the rest of this. It's just going to mess up our aerodynamics. So from here, I'm going to jettison this. There we go. And up we go-ish. Looks like we're going to maybe impact this. I don't know. Let's get ourselves maybe a tiny bit of distance here. Yeah, there we go. That'll make things a lot better. Fantastic. Just differing aerodynamics there. So that's fine. At this point, we want to warp forward until we exit the atmosphere. Now I'm going to go into surface mode, retrograde. That's very snappy, of course, because we've got that advanced inline stabilizer on here. I want to rotate so that we have our solar panel facing the sun. It would not do to come in without any power. That would be bad. And we're just going to flip this guy on around. We're at apoapsis now, so we are flipping. And we're going to head right back in. Our impact biome is actually currently at shores. So I'm going to bring us off of time warp here. I'm going to just get us a little bit of horizontal speed here, pushing us out into the water. There we go. And now we're going to head back to here. Now, I'm hoping that we don't pick up too much spin on the way in. We'll see what happens with that. If that happens, we could theoretically think about dropping our fins on here. But I think that the SAS should give us what we need. We have the thrust to weight in this stage. We have 3.27 right now, although that will drop as we go down. We'll just warp down to the atmosphere at this point, and we're going to try to re-enter this as gently as we can. We're, of course, accelerating here, and we're watching our KER suicide burn countdown. We'll see how that ends up going. It's currently saying about 15 seconds. I don't think that's exactly accurate. It's usually not very accurate when we have atmosphere. But we'll play it safe. We've got plenty of delta V here. 2, 1, and 0. Commencing re-entry burn. We're holding attitude very nicely. Yeah, this is looking easy peasy. And let's just drop our speed until this is at, like, I don't know, 10 seconds. It's currently at 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So we're down to 400 meters per second here. Looking good. We've got 38 seconds of burn left here. And we can see we are not going to need that much. And we're slowing down currently. I'm going to start slowing us further. Yeah, we're very stable here. I like it. So now we're at 100 meters per second, and I'm just going to start us gently slowing for the time being. Keeping an eye on this, but more importantly at this point, keeping an eye on this. We're 1 kilometer up. I want to slow us pretty dramatically at this point. Okay. And we're just going to gently drop on in here. Let's bring this down until we're going at about, I don't know, like 10-ish meters per second. Yeah, we'll just continue to drop here. Not quite that fast. Yeah, this is better. We've got plenty of delta V. I'm not concerned about it. Easy peasy. Nice gentle splashdown upcoming. And yeah, the SAS on this definitely earning its keep right now. I like it. We're moving at about 4 meters per... Ooh, we're picking up a wiggle here. Let's just go into stability assist. Okay. We're going to let this drop a bit and decelerate it. And nice gentle splashdown. I like it. So straight down from 100 kilometers with no parachutes. Beautiful. So that should be that one completed. So what do we need here? We need to go into, not our contracts, we need to go into cheats here and add in our funding for completion of that contract. That was a medium difficulty contract. I'm currently moving it over into the completed column. There we go. So that was a medium difficulty contract. So that means that we earn 50,000 from that. Okay, so we're at 46 here, so this goes up to 96. Wonderful. We're kind of bobbing in the ocean right now, which is awkward indeed. But we'll take this on up to 96 and recover the vessel. Beautiful. So there's that contract done. What one do we want to work on next? Well, we've got a few here. So while this is loading, hopping back over here, we've got just a dude. So take off, re-land. So this has to be at orbit. And then re-land at the Space Center to pick up Kevin. And then go back to space all in the same flight. This doesn't say we can't refuel. I think we're going to wait on this until we have a little bit more tech. So we're going to wait at least until we have the grab claw for refueling. That should be fine. Poles to poles to poles to plant a flag on both poles of a planet or moon. It doesn't have to be any particular one. Pick any celestial body and plant a flag as close as possible to both the north and south poles. Okay. This is something we could do in combination with our current mission to fly by Minmus. But I don't think I want to land on Minmus until we've done the flyby. So maybe we should just do the Minmus flyby for right now. That would probably be the best way to proceed at this moment, I think. So we can... Yeah, there's just this Minmus flyby here. Nothing other than the flyby. So that should be a nice and easy thing that we can just knock out here. That doesn't really coincide with any of our contracts. So I think we'll do that. We will open up what? The moon lander, but we do not need to include all of this extra fuel. This is way, way overkill. I think that we should go to the orbital science machine here. Yeah, this should be reasonably fine. This should do the trick. So we've got our P here. We could, of course, upgrade our P. And I wouldn't mind doing that. So we would upgrade the P re-entry module to a pomegranate re-entry module so that we can have 3 people seated. Where did that go? Here it is. Cool. This gets reattached on top, this gets reattached on bottom, and there we go. That is upgraded. So that looks good. We can grab some science on the way up, if I remember. I've been very bad at that, to be honest. And of course, Staney is back here and imprisoned. Valentina is currently being punished. So she doesn't get to fly on this. She will get to land because she has threatened to sue if she does not get to land on Minmus, because, of course, the mint ice cream is delicious, and she wants that. So she definitely is going to be able to land on Minmus. But for now, we're just going to take Jeb, Bill, Bob, and I think we put this out on the pad. We don't really need extra DV to go to Minmus as opposed to Moon. So this should be just fine here. Let's double check our staging, make sure that nothing broke. Little slow off the pad. This first stage is still what I would consider to be anemic. So we could consider buffing this first stage up a bit. And I think that's not a terrible idea. We can remove those and remove this. And then we can take this up to a Rockamax size, like so. And then we could just simply put in a single Jumbo 64. This is basically what we lifted the previous parachute ship with, is this right here. And then we can put a mainsail on here. And the question is, how much delta V, or not even delta V, what is the thrust to weight on that? 2.42? Yeah, we don't need to side boost this at all. So we can lift it like this. It's definitely a little awkward the way it narrows up this way. But I think it's reasonably fine. Do we need to include any additional researches? I don't think so. I think this has all of our current science. Yeah, so that should be good. We'll be able to get a good amount of science out of that. And this should be more than sufficient. I do want to put on some tail fins on here. And this is slightly more expensive, no doubt about that. So let's take a look at our center of mass and aerodynamic overlay in order to have this be decent. Yeah, actually, center of mass and the tail fins are doing reasonably fine together. So that looks okay. It's quite tall, but this is a light payload, and I think this will be fine. Upgrading to Rockamax size for our lander is going to make that so much cleaner. So let's just launch this as is. I think we're completely okay. We're going to go up through the atmosphere very, very quickly, to the point where we probably could thrust limit our mainsail, but I don't know that that's really worth doing. But is it really worth not doing? It's kind of irrelevant whether we do it or not, to be honest. We can grab our surface sample, and we'll have Bob EVA and grab that, since we apparently never did this. So he will grab an EVA report, apparently, and we'll hop in here. We will collect everything that we can, and we'll have Bob EVA again. We'll grab our EVA report again, apparently, and our surface sample again. That will, of course, then be stored in, if we can climb up. There we go. That'll be stored in here. Cool. And on our way up, we will grab our Science Junior data. So we definitely could consider thrust limiting this. Down to like 50%? 1.23. Maybe like 2/3. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so thrust limit that, throttle up, and off we go. We're not going to grab our material study for flying low, I don't think. We'll try to grab our flying high. That should be fine. And we'll just head on over here a little bit. Ooh, that's wiggly. That is very, very wiggly. Well, we'll just try to hold this attitude for now. Okay. This is incredibly wiggly. We're going to abort this flight. We're going to try to recover what we can. Drogue's out. So the problem with this flight, we'll get to that in a moment. Main out. Did our drogues break? Where are our drogues at? Hang on. They didn't fire. Deploy. Deploy. Okay, there go our drogues. Cool. That should pull us around, in theory, to retrograde. Actually, we can just steer our way around to retrograde, funnily enough. And now we are going to land this guy. We're definitely picking up a spin. But we're trying to decelerate as best we can here. Okay, I don't love that spin, that's for sure. And we're just going to land. This is quite an abort. No doubt about that. I want to bring this down. We need to decelerate a lot, actually. Maybe not quite that much. Okay. What blows up? Kaboom. Okay, everything blows up. So, the problem here, and these guys are just going to respawn. So, what... Yeah, we can... This is a catastrophic failure. The problem here, I could revert it, but I'm not going to. We're going to go back to the Space Center. The problem is just an endemic KSP issue. We picked up that wiggle going up, which is caused by the weakness of the joint in the 1.25 meter decoupler. So that's what that was. I attempted to recover it. And we do recover some of this. So these guys will respawn is the way that the default game works here. We can collect the science, I suppose. But they're going to be missing for a little bit. Yeah, they're going to be missing in action. So we can definitely bring Valentina and Staney at this point. And we can finish up our problem. Or rather, we can fix that problem easily enough. I'll hire Luke for this mission here. That was mostly me being greedy. So, yeah, that could have been handled better, for sure. But I was being greedy there. There's no doubt about it. So, what we need to do here is we just need to put joints in. So, struts, like this. And that'll completely prevent that wiggle. That's all it needs. There's just weakness in that joint that's right there. So, is everybody in this? They should be, shouldn't they? Yeah, we should have the correct 3 in here. Jeb, Bill, and Bob will be back. Don't worry. They did survive that. They were just flung clear of it, and they have to swim back to shore. That'll take them a while. They're very robust. Those spacesuits will definitely keep them occupied. So, we're going to lift off here again, and we shouldn't pick up that wiggle issue this time. Now, note that I didn't thrust limit it. I don't care enough. It's fine. We're just going to get on our way. So we're getting a lot of speed here, and we need to get some horizontal speed, but we're just going to punch up through the atmosphere here, I think, mostly. Punch up through the atmosphere as quickly as we can, and then once we get a little bit higher up, we'll start angling to head over further. Actually, we can do it basically now, but yeah, look at how much more rigid this is now. That's just a weird KSB problem. I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of aero forces here, right in the center of the rocket, right? So it does make sense. It's fighting with the various bits of the rocket here. That's fine. At this point, we can definitely grab our material study, which I actually remembered to do for once. We could grab our mystery goo observation too. We're going to have to reset it anyway. And we are just heading on over to the horizon here. Just trying to get as much horizontal speed as possible. I do see that we're at 100 right now. I'm going to keep burning here until we're at like 200. Or this burns out, actually. Okay, there we go. This'll do. So we're pushing our way through here. And we're going to coast, but we are going to ditch this bit. Just getting a little bit of space there. Cool. And we're going to physics warp at this point until we hit space, when our engine will be far more efficient. Cool. So now we are, of course, going to finish up our circularization. Just burning here until this is 200, which is where we're going to target, I guess. That'll be fine. And as far as the actual circularization goes, we're not going to need very much delta V to do that. Yeah. This'll do. So something along the lines of 400. And we'll have plenty to do our flyby and get back. No worries there at all. So we'll just get ready here with our backup crew, which definitely does not include any criminals or anyone being punished for assisting criminals. There's no way that any of that exists. Nobody would be that stupid, right? Surely not. So we're going to have this in about 30 seconds. 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, mark. Beautiful. Now we're going to have to do an inclination change. That's absolutely fine. we're not actually looking to enter orbit of Minmus. All we have to do here is a flyby. So this should be a very, very simple mission, and even these chumps should be able to pull it off. So we're entering orbit as of now. I did physics warp part of that burn. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Engine shuts down. Good enough on the orbit. So now, of course, actually we should reset this. We'll have Luke EVA. What kind of a name is Luke, anyway? That's not a very Kerbal name. We're going to open the service bay. We're going to... Actually, we should collect all of this data. There we go. Okay, Luke. Come on over here. Restore the Science Junior. Restore the Mystery Goo Containment Unit. And we will conduct our material study. And observe the Mystery Goo. Keep that experiment. And... anytime now. Observe the Mystery Goo. I guess he didn't get that. Well... maybe that's what happens when you're a Luke. Who's ever heard of a Luke before? Ugh, ridiculous. At least you could have a normal name like Staney. I'm not sure I can keep this bit up for much longer. Okay, so we're going to grab and board. Or actually just board. We didn't grab there. So that's fine. And we've got all that data. Next up, of course, we set Minmus as our target. And we head over to the descending node. We can change our inclination here. We need to go positive here. There we go. Bringing this ascending node down to match planes with Minmus. I think our timing is slightly off on it. There we go. That'll do. Cool. We'll position for this burn. This will be about a 225 meter per second burn. Should be absolutely fine. And there we go. Magnificent. So we'll get this burn done shortly. A 26-second burn. We'll continue to warp here. Ooh, an EVA report. We'll grab that. Wonderful. What else do we have? Probably nothing. But 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay. Inclination change is a go. Beautiful. I can't believe I didn't reinforce that. I knew that I should, too. That's the most frustrating part. I'm very upset at myself for not reinforcing that joint. But like I said, Jeb, Bill, and Bob will all be back. We are on the default rules here, and so they will respawn. There's no permadeath. I don't think there's a point to permadeath, in all honesty, in KSP. I think it's kind of dumb. But there we go. We have changed our inclination. Technically, we're slightly off here. That's close enough. It's close enough. So let's look at pushing out sometime around our apoapsis and getting ourselves... Apparently that's a moon encounter. I don't really want a moon encounter. Oh, wow, that really flings us off. Okay. Yeah, we don't want that moon encounter. Thank you very much. Let's try out over this way. Where is Minmus? Oh, Minmus is over here. Okay, we can actually bring this all the way over like this. Yeah. That's pretty decent for a flyby, actually. That puts us back into a moon encounter. I would prefer not to go into a moon encounter there. That's a Kerbin escape, technically. We could probably do something kind of like this. It gives us back to a moon encounter, but we can adjust this periapsis once we're up there. Yeah, I think this is absolutely fine. We can bring this down and do like a radial retrograde burn or do a burn up at Minmus. Either of those would be fine. However, it is about time to put a cut in here, and this is a fairly long burn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to go fly by Minmus. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, and Lohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Anna the Elephant, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And as always, I will see you all next time.